Welcome to the Common Man Football Show. My name is James Coburn, and today's episode, we're going to be talking about the Kansas City Chiefs versus Houston Texans Week 5 matchup based on analytics. Each week, I collect all of the current 2017 NFL team data in order to analyze and project potential NFL performance. We are 4 weeks into the season, so it's not the biggest sample size ever. However, there will always be little nuggets of truth in every sample of data you see, which could become bigger nuggets of truth as the season continues. So stick around as I analyze each week's matchups based on analytics. And if you are new to the channel, all terms and definitions will be in the description. So when it comes to this matchup, the Chiefs versus the Houston Texans, the overall data, so this is the NFL basic NFL stat comparisons, favors the Kansas City Chiefs. Not surprisingly, but you'll be very surprised to see how evenly matched it is. The Texans' blowout win against the Titans really helped them out overall. And I don't think you should discount some of the things that the Texans' defense has been doing, because I think a primary driver for the Texans up to this point in terms of their early, some of their early or later success has been the defense. And sure, Deshaun Watson has been playing lights out, but I think that's just another factor to the overall team of the Texans playing really well when it comes to defense and those sort of factors. So let's get into some sort of stuff. So when it comes to the total D score basically looks into the ability to prevent first downs as a defense. And the Texans are much better when it comes to preventing first downs as a defense compared to the Kansas City Chiefs, who have not been as great in terms of doing that overall as a defense. So overall, crazy as it may sound, the Texans are favored a bit when it comes to preventing first downs as a defense. And then when you look at offensively, this is the big disparity. You look at the total O score, Kansas City Chiefs way up there, very high when it comes to their total O score versus the Texans, who are not the best. Now, keep in mind that this hasn't really had enough time to really adjust to what the Texans did last week to a certain extent. Deshaun Watson is getting better. I think this score will improve as he continues to play, but it's just something to keep in mind overall. So, but I don't think anybody could deny the fact that the Kansas City Chiefs over 4 weeks have been outstanding when it comes to their ability to create first downs as an offense overall. Then when you look at the other sort of data points, so when it comes to turnovers, this is a big advantage for the Kansas City Chiefs. Is the Chiefs have not had a ton of turnovers on offense, whereas the Texans have had some issues with turnovers over the last 4 weeks. So some of this can change. Like Deshaun Watson has been very good in terms of not allowing a lot of turnovers over the last couple weeks, but this is definitely an issue that plagued them early on, and this is a big factor for why this is what it is, because this is basically looking at how the Texans have performed over the last 4 weeks, and despite some of the success they had last week, this is really how they've been playing for the most part, is the best way to put it. Then, of course, when you look at sack percentage, both of these teams are not the best when it comes to preventing sacks, whether you're talking about the Texans or the Chiefs, so pretty even across the board when it comes to their defenses. Or their offenses, excuse me. And then when you look at offensive score percentage, favors the Chiefs, but the Texans have really improved a lot in that area. That's been the one area that's really helped them out and improved them the most is offensive score percentage. Then, of course, when you look at defensive score percentage, mostly favors the Texans. They've been able to prevent more points compared to the Chiefs' defense, but the Chiefs' defense has not exactly been bad. I mean, despite some of the woes that the Chiefs' defense has had, some of the mistakes and some of the other sort of stuff, they haven't been flat out terrible. This isn't the Raiders' defense we're talking about. This is just a defense that has some inefficiencies here and there. Then when you look at the other sort of stuff like turnovers, the Texans have been able to generate more turnovers than the Chiefs. The Texans have also been able to generate more sacks than the Chiefs, and the Texans have also been able to generate more interceptions than the Chiefs overall. And I know a lot of people are going to go, well, Justin Houston. But again, Justin Houston, I don't know what they're doing with Justin Houston. Like, they're dropping Justin Houston into coverage. So, honestly, they should just have him pin his ears back and get the quarterback. And I don't know what they're going to do with him, but, I mean, I'm just as disgusted with this as you, because when you have Justin Houston, you should be killing it when it comes to sack percentage, but they just haven't. Compared to the Texans. So this is definitely sort of a thing that also favors the Texans defense. Then when you look at the punt return yardage, fairly even, slight advantage to the Texans, but pretty even. When you look at kick return yardage, favors the Kansas City Chiefs much more than the Texans, who have been about average when it comes to kick return yardage. But overwhelmingly, defense on special teams, preventing punt return yardage, preventing kick return yardage is all in the favor of the Chiefs. So I would give most of the special teams advantages to the Chiefs when you look at this. And then when you look at field goal percentage, it's actually been more in favor of the Texans compared to the Chiefs. Extra point percentage is more so in the Chiefs side, and punting average is more so with the Texans side. But the overall data, again, favors the Chiefs because they just have a couple advantages here and there, more continuity in terms of their offense, more continuity in terms of their defense. And even though the Texans have advantage, again, the defense for the Texans is much better than the Chiefs' defense in terms of how they've been performing over the last 4 weeks. However, I still think that the offense of the Chiefs is so overwhelming that I think it just gives them that advantage on top of the special teams advantages, which I just pointed out as well. So despite the fact that the Texans have had lots of success preventing first downs, they have not had the most success in terms of preventing punt return yardage and kick return yardage, which is a crucial thing when it comes to field position and those other sort of factors, which is why the Chiefs are also favored as well. So then we look at the other sort of matchups. So we're looking at things like completion percentage, ability to create first downs with the pass and run, all that kind of stuff. So we look at the other sort of matchups, the micro matchups. So I'm not going to spend too much time with completion percentage data, but most of the completion percentage data favors the Chiefs. The Chiefs have been just outstanding when it comes to first down, second down, and third down completion percentage. So that's definitely a big sort of factor for the Chiefs. Then, of course, you look at the Texans' offense versus the Chiefs' defense when it comes to completion percentage. Mostly favors the Chiefs' defense. The Texans are getting better when it comes to first, second, and third down situations when it comes to completion percentage, but it still overall favors the Chiefs' defense. That's the one area where the Chiefs' defense is doing really well is completion percentage. Then when it comes to rushing downs, so the ability to create first downs with the run, heavily favors the Chiefs. The Chiefs have been the best team in the NFL when it comes to creating first downs on first down with the run, as well as creating first downs on third down with the run. So that's a big advantage to the Chiefs in this game. And I think it'll be tough sledding. I mean, I think it'll be kind of similar to the Redskins game because very similar in terms of the success the Texans have had in terms of preventing rushing downs, but I still think this favors the Chiefs. And there have been some injuries as well to the offensive line. So we'll have to see how that stuff develops. But I still think this favors the Chiefs overall. Then, of course, when you look at the Texans' offense versus the Chiefs' defense when it comes to the run, fairly evenly matched. Most of the success the Texans have had in terms of their rushing offense have come on first downs, and most of the success that the Chiefs' defense has had have come on second down. As well. So the Texans on second down and the Chiefs on second down when it comes to the Texans offense and the Chiefs defense is fairly evenly matched. I think overall it's just evenly matched when it comes to this particular matchup. Then we look at passing situations. The Chiefs passing offense versus the Texans passing defense mostly favors the Texans defense on third down situations. At second down situations, the biggest thing I could say again, as I try to tell most people, the way that you stop the Chiefs, the way that you beat this, like if you were theoretically going to say, all right, James, how do you beat the Chiefs? You beat the Chiefs by stopping the run, which is very hard to do, and putting Alex Smith into third and long situations. Because the areas that the Chiefs have not been doing well in terms of converting is third down situations with the pass, especially third and long situations. Third and 4 to 6, third and 7 and 9. Those situations, the Chiefs have not been the best, in terms of converting in those situations. So that's what I would say. I mean, that's the basic thing I would say. That's what you need to do, is to get them into third and long situations. And if you do that, you'll have success. But it's really hard to do. I mean, this isn't an easy thing to do. I mean, you have to stop the run, and you have to put them in the third and long situations. That's not easy to do, but if there was one way to kind of, like if you're asking me, how do you stop this Chiefs offense? That's how you do it. It's hard to do when you have such an efficient running game and when you also have such efficiency in first and second down. Then, of course, when you look at the Texans offense versus the Chiefs defense, actually favors the Texans offense. Despite the issues that completion percentage has had in terms of the Texans, they've been fairly okay when it comes to getting first downs on first down, getting first downs on second down, and even getting first downs on third down. So, and a lot of this is the Deshaun Watson effect. I think these numbers will actually improve more as the season goes on. But that is the one worry I do have about this Chiefs defense is Deshaun Watson, how he might affect things, because there definitely is a lot of stuff in favor of the Texans offense when it comes to passing down situations. Then when we look at sacks on the Chiefs versus the Texans, this actually favors the Texans. Most of the sacks that the Chiefs have been giving up has been first down situations and third down situations. And I think overwhelmingly, most of the sacks that the Texans have gotten have been on second down. And I think that's just an issue. So I think that's the big thing to kind of watch in this game is because of that. Then, of course, you look at the sack rate for the Texans versus the Chiefs. Most of the Chiefs sacks have come on first down situations and second down situations, and most of the issues that the Texans have had with sacks have been in first and second down situations. So that's going to be a big matchup to see what happens. But again, the Deshaun Watson effect. Deshaun Watson is an athletic quarterback. Athletic quarterbacks are never the easiest things to kind of deal with. So this definitely is a thing that could throw a wrench into things. Then, of course, you can look at interception ratio of the Kansas City Chiefs offense versus the Texans defense. Mostly favors the Chiefs offense overall. Then when you look at the interception ratio of the Texans offense versus the Chiefs defense, mostly favors the Chiefs defense when it comes to second down situations and third down situations overall. So based on all that data, how do I feel? Well, I still think it's going to be a Chiefs victory. I do think this Texans defense might give them some issues. I do think that Deshaun Watson will keep it interesting, but I just have to go with the Chiefs here. It's going to be on the road. It's going to be a tough test, but I just have a feeling that the Chiefs will still continue to have success when it comes to first and third down situations with the run. I think the Chiefs will still overwhelmingly have a ton of success when it comes to first and second down situations with the pass, and I just think that all these factors just kind of coalesce to the Chiefs having the most success when it comes to the data points. So, of course, my name is James Coburn. You can find my work at draftcoburn.wordpress.com. You can also follow me on Twitter at Geometrics. And if you like this content and you want more content like this, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Share this video as well with anybody that you know, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Peace.